Hello and welcome, each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and joining me is Morganne Rayne Adept, visionary spiritual guide, ceremonialist and artist, Alisha Ann Kingrey, empath on a mission to help other empaths achieve financial independence, and joining us as well is Lorraine, and she doesn't want to come on the camera, but she hears us. Hello, Lorraine.
Hi.
She hears us, and she will want to really speak about what is going on in her life and maybe ask our support and help. Lorraine, can you tell us your story, please?
Oh gosh, where do I even start? I've got no idea. Which bit?
Whatever bit you want Morgan to help you and Alisha.
Um, I've really got no idea. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Morgan, maybe you can connect with Lorraine, give her some message, and then we go from there, if it's possible, please.
Well, I'm just sitting present with it, but I don't feel an opening right now. So that it may just be it's happening too quickly. Maybe we just need to have a conversation and just move into this in a not a therapeutic way, but a flow kind of way. So you okay with that, Lauren? If we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
yeah. So I suggest that Alisha Ann and Daiga and I just start our conversation and then come into the conversation when you're ready, okay? Because I don't sense you're ready.
I am definitely not.
All right. So anyway, and we're here for you. So just be here, and when you're ready, just pipe right up. Alisha Ann, it's so good to see you.
Yes. How are you? What is going on with you? How are you? I'm so glad to see you back.
Yeah, thank you. It's so good to be back. I'm just winding down my experiences over the last almost 7 weeks, being with my friend who passed away, and then working with her estate to get it ready for completion. So it's been a huge journey of great love, actually. And I have accumulated a lot more friends because all her friends from different walks of life are now very connected to me, and it feels it's good. I feel like I have a broader base to stand on. So that's
Wonderful.
good. So yeah, so I do wonder about how you're doing over there in Turkey, and I know you got some good news happening in your family life there. So
Yeah. So my daughter and baby are coming soon to live with us. So that is really, really exciting. And you know how life goes when you're stuck in a rut. You're stuck in a rut. But Grace had all of these apprehensions and all of this. Well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And I said, listen, this is totally up to you. You're going to have to make these decisions for yourself, but let me just help you in this one way. I know that you are in control. When you move, then the universe shows up like, okay, yay, let's do this. What are we going to start with? Where are we going to go? But because we are in the driver's seat, until we move forward. So the last, I don't know, a couple of weeks since she has made the decision to move this way, I have seen uh, kind of like her flower bloom. She is just becoming more of a stronger person. For one, I feel like she's realizing more of her purpose. For two, I feel her more free. Because again, she is moving forward. She's just taken the step. And it's scary. It's scary to move to a totally different country, to change your culture, change your language, change your, whatever. But she's doing it. And because she has taken the first step, there's all of these cool things that are coming with it. The strength in her spirit when we talk now is really refreshing. She's leaving behind, she's living in Southern California, and it's such a mess there. And oh my gosh, our conversations have, it's like there's just so much to talk about. I don't know where to go with it, but now she's returning back to the child that she was when she was with me. She remembers the meditating together, and she remembers she's starting to come into her true person again. You get so weighted down with the world's issues. You've got babies, and you've got in-laws, and you've got work situations, and you've got, we jump so much into the 3D at times that we can't see past it. But it's just this beautiful elevation for her, this moving away from the 3D, lingering back into the spiritual side of who she is and the strength that is giving her. It's been a really, really beautiful progression for her in the last couple of weeks. It's been a blessing.
I love that. I love that story. I don't know why my computer is like wanting to go off for some reason, but we'll see how it goes.
That's funny. That my computer just started doing some kind of a glitch thing too, just a second ago when I was talking. That's
Mine
weird.
wouldn't even let me join.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this goes. We're not even.
Say thank you to Lorraine, because Lorraine brings absolutely crazy energies with her.
The double grief is just coming sat by my window.
So Lorraine, are you ready to actually tell us something now, or you want to still wait?
I would love to, but my computer really didn't want me to join, so I'm not even sure I'm meant to be here right now.
At the moment, we hear you perfectly well. So everything what you're saying is absolutely clear.
Yeah, but something really didn't want me to be on the stream, I don't think. So I'm not sure. I'm going to let you guys take the wheel because I'm absolutely clueless.
I'm actually right there where Lorraine is. I'm feeling like there is, I don't know whether it's coming from Lorraine or it's just a block to not share at this time. But that's what I'm feeling. I just got to go with my ultimate feeling. Like,
well, me too. I felt like she is exactly where she's supposed to be.
Yep.
She brought crazy energy, which is beautiful. We're all crazy energy.
Yeah.
Right? You get good movement in crazy energy. So yeah, I just enjoy having her on the show, and I think she's doing exactly what she's meant to do.
I do
with us.
Yep, absolutely. I do want to comment about what you were talking about, Alisha Ann, with Grace and going back to your authentic self after having been layered. So we can live in our authentic beingness for a chunk of time when we're little, but we begin to get molded by the people and the events and the structures around us to become and fit into the molds that are presented to us. And so we become a lot of times what we got molded into, which is not our authentic beingness, right? So as we go along in our lives, we more and more lose our sense of our true selves because we start conforming to the world and what the world is demanding of us. So when we come back to reality and we wake up in our right minds, then we can come back to, you were talking about that, that innocent, well, you didn't use the words innocence, but more that childlike. So that, what a beautiful place to be in, because that's the access point to come back to your spiritual self, is that beautiful childlike, oh, I remember that. That sense of wonder and awe dips us back down into our authentic self. And it's so important that we get there, because when we continue to conform to the world and conform to the structures that the world put in place, the more and more we lose our authentic, spiritual, sacred self and become something we don't even recognize, something we don't like, something we don't want to be. So so I'm so glad that you started talking about grace about that, because, and maybe this will help Lauren too, is coming back to truly our authentic beingness. And how do you get there? How do you get there, right? And you laid out the path beautifully. You start something different. You start thinking different ways. You step out of the conformity and into the imagination, into that place of, well, what if? What if I move to Turkey? What if I move in with my mom and her hubby? What if, it's like you begin to tap into that wonderment and to the imagination. And that's where our authentic selves lie. That's where they thrive. And if we're not there, then we become conformed to the world in all its ways, and we become part of that world. And so many times I see people just, they have forgotten who they are, and they are just so miserable and so sad. So I think it's really, I just love that you brought it up, because each of us must either just remember, wake up and remember who we are, which I love doing every day, or we just go conform to the world and live the life the world has told us to live. We get to choose every day. And I'm just really happy that Grace has you to help her remember and help her move into that imagining place again, that wonderment state again. And it would be beautiful if many more of us would do that and choose that. So I just wanted to comment on what you said, because you know how I love that place of wonderment and childlike wonderment and imagination, because that's who we are. Talk about creatorship. That's when we can operate out of that. Otherwise, if we're conformed to the world and we try to manifest, it's like cookie cutter. It's like it's an expectation. This is how we do it. When you move into wonderment and childlike wonder, what else is possible? It's like, we step into something even more wonderful and more grand than the conformity. So
and you said it. It's the sense of self. Here we go with my computer again. Thank you. The sense of self. We never lose who we are. We lose the perception of who we are, right? Like, we're always this fifth dimensional being, or this star seed, or this spiritual person, or whatever. But our perception of that changes as we go through life, and life happens, right? Life just happens. You meet a guy, you get married, you have some kids, then your life is so overwhelmed in the 3D reality. We just our perception of our self changes. And that's why I walked through life miserable for the first how many years, because I just forgot who I was. That's why, Grace has had some struggles, and thank God she's coming back. Grace is an amazing human being. I think Grace was brought to me to help me remember. So my father, we don't talk a ton about my father, but my father was the most talented person I've ever met in my life. My father dropped out of school when he was maybe 14 or 15, but still he had this brain I can't understand. His father had this brain I can't understand. Neither one of them had a lot of schooling because they were, in the fields working and they were making money. And so education wise, they didn't have a lot of school. However, these guys are, I've oftentimes thought about my family and like, are they aliens or something? Like the creativity, they could draw anything that they wanted to. My father was a country singer with an amazing voice. He never went to mechanic school, but he could fix anything that broke. They just have this brain, this creative brain. I got a touch of it. I can draw really well. However, I can't just draw out of imagination. I need to see something and then I can draw it. I got a little bit of it. What my father brought to this earth skipped me by quite a bit, and it went to Grace. She is one of the smartest human beings I've ever met. She was doing geometry and stuff at 10 years old that I could have never helped her with her homework. She was just out of this world smart. Creativity. She just thinks of stuff in her mind. And I used to work graveyard, and I had a nanny that was with her in the daytime when I was sleeping, but I would wake up and I would find like all of this art stuff on my walls, or, she had created something new. She's just an extraordinary human being. And I am the one who's blessed that she came into my life, because she's just brought, I don't know, I just feel like so much from other realms into this realm. She's just a very, very special human, or special being. I'm not sure if she's human, but so, I feel like I may have come to a stop in my ascension. I may have, not a block, but it's hard to explain, I guess. I have no more ascension symptoms, put it that way. But now I'm at this place to where I'm almost devoid of emotion. I never get hungry. I can't hardly eat anything. And if I do eat, it has to be something totally natural, or I get ill, or I just don't want to eat it. I don't know. I'm just in such a strange place right now, but I feel like when Grace gets here we go, computer again. Me and her together are going to move mountains. I just know it. I just feel like, me and her together is really, really going to be a force to be reckoned with. So it's nice. I don't feel like I'm not like just an emotionless, heartless human being. I just appreciate every single thing for what it is. Put it that way. Without judgment. I don't necessarily need to put my 2 cents in everything. Not everything needs my judgment. I'm just observing everything from the outside now, and nothing really emotionally affects me, if that makes sense.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you're not being triggered by the world.
Exactly. That's what I would call it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and even with I took you along with me in a bunch of this stuff. And oh my gosh, you know, look at the news about this, look at the news about this, and look at this and blah blah blah. There's all this truth stuff coming out, and I just had to be one of the first ones to know and share with my friends. And I left the group that I was in, this truther group, showing a bunch of this stuff. It just doesn't matter. None of it matters. I'm not, you know, that those groups, and it's good to, for the people who are not awake, those groups are really, really worth a lot. For myself, there's so much looking into the future and so much looking into the past that none of that stuff is relevant to me anymore. Who am I? Don't ask me what I did yesterday. Ask me what I'm doing right now, because that's the only reality that means anything to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on right now? Ask me what time Sam left for the gym today. I have no clue, because it's not happening right now. I really can't tell you. What am I going to eat later? I don't know. I'll let later come, and then I'll figure it out. I'm here. I just am. There's nothing else that exists. That's it.
Yep, I love that. I just love that. You know, this conversation that we're in kind of sparked my remembering about, you know, here I go quoting Bible again, but in the scriptures in Romans, and I pulled it up so I could read it. And what you're saying is exactly what this says, right? And it's all about this conversation we're having. And this is in Romans, the book of Romans, which is in the New Testament. It says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind."
Is that Romans 8?
Romans 12.
Oh, okay. That's funny. I just had the number 8 come into my head for some reason.
But I love that. Listen to that again. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, and that's exactly what you're talking about. What we've been talking about this morning is that we see the patterns of the world. We see the conformities that are imposed upon us, not for our good, but for whoever decide to do the imposing, right? But for us, it's to step back from that world. You're in this place of just witnessing, like, I don't know what I ate. I don't know when Sam left. You're just witnessing the present moment ever unfolding. And that's the power of the renewing of your mind. Is you cannot renew your mind unless you're in the present moment. And what did Einstein say? He said, you cannot fix a problem with the same mind that created it.
Cause the problem. Yes.
Right. You cannot. So you have to have a renewed mind, which I love. If you're not renewing your mind and refreshing and restarting that mind, that's what I love about the child state, is they're always into, well, you know, I'm a princess today. No, I'm a dragon today. I'll go, it's like, it's a constant changing of the mind, a new way of thinking about being in the world, and we're not called here to be participants in that world. We're called here to create the world that's a coming. And that comes from what we're like, getting in our right minds, getting into our right way of being, which is being in the present moment, not being stuck on the, oh, I got to look like this, or I got to feel like this, or whatever. You got to get out of the conformity state and move into, well, what do I think? What do I feel? What's my authentic beingness here? Because otherwise we're being jerked around by that. So everything that you're saying points right back to this. And, and I believe that all conditions, every condition that exists within humankind can be resolved just by the renewing of the mind, just by the coming back to the present moment, being anchored in that, not being pulled by the past or drug into even the future, to be so present here that the future unfolds itself. You were talking about, Grace, earlier about blooming, right? Well, sometimes those buds stay buds for a while and then they start opening. And it doesn't matter when they start opening. But when we do start opening, it's so lovely to have someone bear witness to that, which you are doing for Grace, and which we can do for each other. As we are each evolving, we are each growing. And if we're consciously awake and aware with it, then it can be a very, sometimes painful, but mostly beautiful experience. And for those who are not aware of it, we can be there to support them as they move through their own transformations. But certainly there are those of us who are transforming now. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What are we transforming into? And I think that's a beautiful question. What are we transforming into? Anybody got any thoughts about that?
If I could say to anybody who is watching, you are waking up, you're halfway through ascension, you're going through ascension, wherever you are in life, be your own guru. Mm-hmm. I went from religious, very religious. I wore the tickle, I wore the right clothes, I prayed 3 times a day. I ate the right thing. I came from a really religious place to, well, there was a time in the middle where, in the interim, there was not so much of that, but that's where I'm coming from. Such a dogmatic place, right? There's so many different mitzvahs and things that you have to follow. And then you get into the truther movement and you follow these gurus or these people that you look up to, and it can be so dogmatic. Well, you got to meditate every day, and you got to do it just like this, and you got to eat like this, and you got to speak like this, and you got to do like this. So you kind of go from one religion to the next, but it's all oppression.
Yep.
It is the easiest thing to do to just be. Just be. I'll tell you a story. I connected with a very, very beautiful person this week. I didn't know she was watching our videos, and she's really getting something out of it. But she had so much pent up emotion inside. Again, life happens. And I told her, I said, honey, just cry. Just for one, just let it go. Just be. And, when we have little babies, again, we have husbands and babies and stuff that we go through, and we don't know how to just be. But my one advice to her, my one thing that I kept going back to was, listen, there's only one thing that you have to do. All you have to do is keep your vibration up. What's your favorite music? She said, country. I said, okay, mine too. Whenever you're feeling down, put on a good Trace Adkins song and dance around the kitchen with the kids or whatever. That's all you have to do. That's it. There's no jumping up and down in the moon 3 times, backflips, meditation, blah, blah, blah. Forget about all of that dogma stuff.
While balancing your carrot juice.
Right?
I know that if you don't drink green juice, you're not going to get offended. So not happening. You have to drink green juice. And I even spent 80 pounds at one point. That was about 2 years ago when I believe in all this.
Yep.
I spent 80 pounds and I brought supply of green juice for a week. I had options, like locally here is supply of this green juice, yeah, and there's different juices, little bottles, and there is like plan for like week how you have to take, and there is some tea and everything in between. I manage first day. On dinner, I haven't finished my breakfast yet. I prefer starving instead of drinking this juice.
The green juice. Yeah. Green juice doesn't sound that tasty.
What I find I actually liked and I could keep going is beetroot, carrots, and something else. That one I could keep going. That not problems, but all these celeries and God knows what else, yeah? Thank you. I probably not going to ascend, but it's not.
If ascension has anything to do with green juice, you're not in.
You're done.
I do apologize. God, if something done very wrong here because I don't keep this.
Oh my God.
But you see that it's the same thing, right, Daiga? It's you get conformed one way or you get conformed another way, right? But it has nothing to do with who you are. And you know, it's like their tricks, their strategies, their way of being. Well, that's good for them, right? You don't sell it off on, well, this is the way you need to be now. But you see that with gurus, and you see that, I mean, you see that anywhere out in the world. The world is full of everybody's good opinions that are being foisted upon you, that you must be this, you must do this, or it's, there's always the or, right? You either do this or, right? Well, what if I love that. Go, well, what if, what else is possible here? We're all going to ascend anyway. No matter.
Imagine that.
No matter.
I'm sorry, Morgan, if you don't drink green juice.
The green juice.
Well, I do.
It's not. I don't have any green juice in my house, so I'm really in trouble.
I'm
not ascending either.
Juice. I like my green juice, but that's I do it because I like it. I like it. I don't tell. Have I ever gotten on here and said, ladies, you must drink green juice every day? No. I don't even drink it every day, but I drink it when my body is like, oh, green juice sounds like it would be really good right now. I listen to my body. I stay present to my body and to my mind. Some days it's soup. It's, like it is what it is. I stay focused and listening to being in the present moment. And that's the only way that we can be free, is if we're in the present moment. We cannot be free in the past, and we are trapped if we're trying to get to the future. We are trapped because all we're doing is bringing the past with us. The only way you can really succeed is by being in the present moment. And success is whatever is good for you, not somebody else's success is not good for you. We have to find our own beautiful way of being.
Just
Lorraine,
I see Lauren's off of mute. Lauren, what would you like to add?
I've got green juice in my fridge.
Then you will ascend, definitely, Lorraine. Sorry, I don't.
Made maybe not. I know some pretty crappy people who drink green juice.
Right, right, exactly. Some pretty hateful people.
Yeah, they're very highly opinionated, and this is the only way to be. But when green juice is what's calling us, then we can answer that call and drink it, and we can feel good. But at the same time, there are times when a piece of toast with slathered in butter is just exactly what I need. You just stay present to the moment and present to what's going on with you.
And keep your vibration up. That's it. Just be happy. There, sometimes, and when I was in the truther group, it is like, what can I do? I need to do something. There's something that I could be doing to help us ascend, to help us move forward. And that's even exhausting. Like, oh my gosh, okay, what can I do? What can I do? You try to plan, okay, what can I do? Who can I tell? What organization can I put together to try to fundraiser, blah, blah, blah. Now, I just realized, you know what? The best thing that I can do is keep my vibration up. I do meditate every day, not because it's a dogmatic thing. It's because it feels so good to release love into the universe. Because the more love I release into the universe, what comes up must come down. I'm throwing more love out into the universe. So I would suggest, if you want to make the biggest, listen, people are gossiping about you. Get over it. Who cares? I don't care. I don't need everybody to like me. Most days I don't even wear makeup anymore. I came from a house where, we didn't even check the mail without having our rouge and our lipstick and stuff on. These days, I don't even care if I have makeup on. I don't care who likes me and who doesn't. I don't care who's talking about me and who's not. None of that stuff affects me. That doesn't reflect the kind of person that I am by, ignoring them. If you leave somebody alone long enough, the source will show them I don't need to fight with somebody, right, for them to realize how ridiculous they are. Leave them alone. Keep your frequency higher. Be who you are. Source will show them. It's not your place to show people how they need to change. Let the world around you go. Let it do what it's doing. That's none of our business. Our business, the reason why we came here, is to be a light to the world. And if you're just like the world, how are you being different than them? How are you lighting up anybody's path? Step aside, notice everything that's going on in the world, and instead of judging it, send it love. When the love reaches it, that is the judgment. The love is the thing that illuminates the wrong and changes it, or illuminates the light and spreads it. Source is everything. We don't have to do anything. That's not our job. I'm not Source. I don't pretend to be. I don't want to be. I just want to be LaShann. I just want to be me.
Yep. You eloquently put the concept of human doing or human being, right? Mostly humans act out of human doing. I do. There's no be. So when you can begin to put those do, right? You can kind of put those together, and out of the beingness, your doingness, but not doing this to prove to self or anyone else. And then the other thing you brought up that was just so poignant is about minding your own business, and mind and not, and beginning to understand what other people think about you or how the world thinks about you is absolutely none of your business. Our business is to love ourselves, our business is to keep our frequency high by loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, accepting ourselves. And when we can do those things, then our frequency naturally rises. And then we can be the light, because when our frequency is lifted, we naturally shine in the world. And so, if we go out there to try to be the light, that's not going to work. You do that by being in the present, moment, learning how to love yourself, giving up comparing yourself to others, giving up the notion that you have to please others. What others need, think, or want, that's none of your business. So that's how I'd like to summarize what you were saying there.
And there's a couple of things. Stop worrying about what people think about you, because honestly, they rarely do. Really. I go outside in non-matching clothes. It doesn't make a difference. Sam is like, really? You're going to wear that? Really? Yeah, what's wrong? Well, what are people going to think? I said, they're not going to, hun. If you realize how little people actually think about us, they're not going to say anything. I promise you. People are so involved in themselves. They're not looking at what I'm doing, right? And if they are, listen, the universe is a mirror. The universe, see, source, we think that we're talking about other people, but source is giving us ideas in our own mind. He's telling us what is wrong with us, but we, as egotistical humans that we are, project it out on other people. Your judgment is never towards other people. Your judgment is towards yourself, and you haven't taken responsibility for it yet.
I just want to speak out to Lauren. Is this conversation helpful to you?
Yeah, it is. It's one of those, like, you're literally speaking about things that I struggle with myself, I think. Like, I can be quite obsessive in my thoughts, I think. So as you're saying, like, walking around, people not caring, I notice everything. Like, I'm one of those people, someone, if there's a little tile that's a different color in the work, I'll notice it. So someone's going around wearing odd socks. It's not that I have any qualms with it. I'm like, oh, it's cool, they got odd socks on. Look at them go. But it's one of those. You're right. I think it's probably a mirror of me perceiving that people are judging me. I think potentially, which is definitely something I'm struggling to let go of.
Yeah, it can be a struggle when we have had that mirror held up for us on how to be for all of our lives, to just decide to not look in that mirror anymore and just be who we are. And that's a grand adventure, learning who we are. Again, though, it takes being in the moment. And I'm glad you're here in the conversation, Lauren.
I'm trying. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's what it is, right? Just being present to it. Because I'm sure you've heard these things before.
Yeah. Being present is something I definitely struggle with myself a lot. I'm always thinking of the future and just like the past. Like, I definitely sit in the past a lot. But I think it's more trying to work it all out, isn't it? Rather than, like, obsessing over the past. It's more like I want to know, you know what I mean? I want to understand it, and I want to know what happened in that scenario, rather than like, oh, this happened to me, so I'm mad about it. It's not even that. It's more, I want to understand, one, how the other person perceived it. That's something that I do a lot. But I've noticed it comes at a detriment to myself, because obviously then I'm thinking about it in a circle continuously, trying to figure out something that I'll never have the answers to. And Source definitely doesn't want to give me the answers. They definitely don't. They want me just to let it all be. But I'll go with the flow. I'll let them decide. I don't really have a choice at the moment, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all get in that place too, just being present to what we are thinking. I think that's powerful. Being present to how you think other people are feeling. Well, it may be helpful to some degree, but because we are all one, I would say, oh, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? Because out of that, then we have a deeper understanding about self and all others. But I'm wondering if this would be a good place to do a meditation.
I just wanted to say, Morgan, I think we are at that point when we can do meditation.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Alisha Ann, are you ready?
If I can say one more thing to Lauren, what helped me when I was just starting to ascend several years ago was the fact that this world is not reality. None of this is. This is like a video game, a virtual reality. We're not here. It seems like it's real because it's so real. Like, hello, this sofa, this is real. So you think because you can touch and smell and feel everything, but this is how amazing we have made the experience from the other side. For it to be an actual experience, we had to forget who we really are and come down here and play these parts together. But it's all just for an experience. That's it. So, we are source. We are a part of the universe. We are stars. We are whatever you want to call it. We are just here for, and even the time is so short. We're not even, it feels like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, we really are here like a vapor. Here 1 minute, one day, and gone the next. So just learn to enjoy the experience. And listen, if you have guilt from the past, forget it. Or if you hold a grudge against, somebody else in the past, forget it. Now, listen, I'm not taking anything away from you. I know it's not super easy. It's a process. But just like you came here for an experience, somebody else came here for an experience too, right? Maybe the people in your past who did you wrong, maybe they were the good guy in the other video game and you were the bad guy. So this time when you came back, you're like, hey, that was cool, but let's switch it around this time. Let's have a different experience. Everything happens the way that it was meant to. Everything, you set up your life the way it was going to go before you came here, and it worked out perfectly. That was your experience. Everything is perfect, right? You're leading yourself from a higher dimension. Your higher elevated self is leading you through this life. So you have to trust you would never lead yourself down the wrong path, right? It's all for something. We don't understand what it's for right now, but in the end, we're going to understand, oh my gosh, that makes sense. That's why I did this, or that's why this happened. That's why so-and-so made this decision. Everything is beautiful and everything is perfect. And that's all I've got.
And everything is divine, right?
Everything is divine. You are divine. You are the divinity. Yes, absolutely.
No, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I am thankful for the lessons I have learned. Let's put it that way. Like, I'm in a much better place for it, I think. I'm just, I think I live in fear. That's what I live in. Not fear of the future, but fear of the repercussions of the past.
Right. Yep. Fear is a big one. That's a big one. It plagues all of us for sure.
Yep. And it's the opposite of love. It is the opposite of love.
And just ask yourself, what are you getting out of the fear, right? We hold on to stuff because we're getting something out of it, or else we wouldn't hold on to it. Is there, we're afraid to let so-and-so go because, well, maybe that person will feel vindicated if I'm not holding a grudge. Or, if I let myself go, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you getting out of it? What is the fear giving you that feels so good that you can't let it go? I guess you could say it that way.
Now.
Yeah, her internet is not great. She'll be back in a second.
It was all fine, and now she disappeared. Let's hope she
I
will
have
be
about been kicked off of this thing like 5 times today. This has never happened to me in one show, and today it was like 5 shows.
Thank you, Lorraine.
That's okay. I think because mine didn't even want me to connect. It was not going to let it happen, so I'm not too sure what's going on there.
Well, that's a good sign. If everything is going normal, if everybody is happy with you, right, you're not making a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
If everything is working in your favor, you're doing something wrong.
Morganne, I hope you will be back.
Oh, let me see. Has she?
Give her a call. Because we really want to finish our show with Morganne's meditation. She usually does.
This is crazy. Hun, are you having a hard time with the internet? Do you? I don't know. This is so weird. So, I still have internet on my phone.
With phone as well, Alisha?
Yeah, this is weird. Something is going on in the waves today. Maybe we're getting like a huge download.
I won't be surprised.
No, me either, especially with everything that's going on my end.
Hi there. Are you able to come back?
Nope. My computer, it went black screen and I can't get back on.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I was just telling the girls, I almost lost you guys like 5 times. This has never happened during one show.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm not able to get back on.
She can't get back on. Her computer went totally black screened and the whole thing is just done. Wow.
Yep. I let it go. You can do meditation or Daiga can.
Okay. Yeah, let me discuss with the ladies what we're going to do. And yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Love you. Bye.
Alisha, do you want to do meditation? Because I'm doing meditation in sessions, but I haven't done in live video, so
I've never
really prepared.
I've never led a meditation either. I've literally only meditated by myself. So it's totally up to you, ladies. We could give it a shot, or we could just wait until next week when Morganne is with us. It's totally up to you.
I think we wait for Morganne to be back because, like I said, without preparation, I don't really want something, because Morganne's meditations is brilliant and I don't want
They are, and I'm not afraid of meditating. I mean, I could wing it. I'm afraid that if I close my eyes and I don't keep this computer going, I may lose you guys anyway. I don't know what's going on with my computer today. It's really weird.
Okay, guys, what the last words do you want to say to our viewers, Alisha?
I'm just super happy that we had another person on the show with us. That is really awesome. I just want to thank her for coming. And yeah, I hope she comes with us again. Just be you. Just for anybody who is listening, just relax. Don't do anything. Keep your vibration up. Just be you. Live in the present. Simple.
Lorraine,
Love
what would
everything.
you want to say to our viewers?
Listen to them and live with no qualms. Seems to be the way.
Okay, then. Thank you everybody for watching. If you like my videos, please don't forget like, share and subscribe to my YouTube video channel, because video like this and many more is here to come. So thank you for watching. God bless. Bye.